Yeah, we've been working to develop more effective treatments for Pompe disease over the last several years, and actually our focus is the ability to improve the response to available treatment, which is the enzyme replacement therapy, or ERT. And what we demonstrated in our laboratory experiments was a drug, particularly a beta-2 agonist drug like albuterol or clenbuterol, can improve the uptake of enzyme during ERT and actually have a beneficial effect in Pompe disease. So we started with our mouse model. Mice have Pompe disease because their GAA gene has been mutated, and we can treat the mice with the same ERT as patients receive. Now, in our experiments, we then added the drug clenbuterol to ERT, and we showed a really significant benefit in terms of both the muscle taking up the enzyme, the GAA, and the glycogen dropping when we added the drug clenbuterol to ERT. We did a clinical trial with albuterol, the related drug, and we had tested that in our mice and showed that it had similar effects to clenbuterol, but maybe not quite as impressive. But albuterol was available in the United States as a drug that we could prescribe. So we did our first study in patients who were stably treated with ERT for several years, added albuterol treatment, and measured things like the 6-minute walk test. And it was impressive that everyone was able to walk further in the 6-minute walk test after they were taking albuterol. We also were able to do a muscle biopsy to show that some of the effects in the muscle from the albuterol were beneficial, as we predicted. So the receptor that takes up GA into the muscle was a little bit higher when they were treated with albuterol, and that agreed with what we'd seen in our mouse experiments. But so we wanted to go further with testing our favorite drug, clenbuterol, which seems to have good effects in our experiments, but it's not available in the United States. It's not an approved drug in the United States. So we were able to apply to the FDA for what's called an IND number, or investigational new drug number, and that allowed us to import clenbuterol from Europe only for our research study. But during that study, we tested clenbuterol very similar to what we'd done with albuterol. Patients who were treated with ERT already for several years started to take clenbuterol or placebo. And that's a very important point, because this study was double-blind, placebo-controlled, and no one knew, not the doctors nor the patients, if they were taking drug pills, clenbuterol pills, or the placebo pills, sugar pills, throughout the whole study. And each patient was in the study for a year. They had a muscle biopsy at the beginning and then at the end. And our main goal was to study safety, and we did find that the drug was safe for patients with Pompe disease. The secondary point was to look at any benefit or efficacy. And it turns out that clenbuterol was beneficial by several different measurements in this study. Patients walked further in the 6-minute walk test. Their respiratory muscles were stronger, so they had improved pulmonary function test results. And then importantly, in the muscle biopsy, their enzyme was higher and their glycogen was lower. And we could attribute this to the clenbuterol treatment, because they're already receiving ERT for several years. We wouldn't expect any improvement, but adding the drug did improve the effect of ERT. So that's a positive study, positive with regard to safety and benefit. And we're currently applying to the FDA for a grant to do another larger study to generate more data and more convincingly prove that there's a benefit from clenbuterol. And we hope to demonstrate to FDA that this should be an approved treatment for Pompe disease in the future.